I wasn't gonna post this. I've written it out maybe 5, 6 times and deleted it every single time. But it's been over a year and I still wake up with that knot in my stomach. You know, the kind that makes you feel like something's unfinished. Like someone's still watching. This isn't a creepypasta. It's not some TikTok mystery for likes. This actually happened. And if someone out there knows more, if you're reading this, just know I didn't forget. Her name was Emma Sinclair. We were in the same senior class. She wasn't popular like cheer captain popular, but people noticed her. She was sharp, quiet in a way that made you curious. Always had this look like she knew something you didn't. I wasn't close with her. Not until the last week. The last time anyone saw her was on a Friday during third period. At 11:07 a.m., she walked out of English class to go to the bathroom and never came back. That's it. No one saw her leave the building. No cars, no buses, no security footage. The school said the hallway cameras were down for maintenance. Of course they were. Her phone last pinged near the school's back parking lot. Then dead. Nothing. Everyone thought she ran away at first. She'd been acting off. Jumpier than usual. Kept looking over her shoulder, zoning out during class. The kind of stuff that makes teachers write you up, not help you. Me? I thought she just needed space. We had one actual conversation. Just one. And it's been replaying in my head every damn day since. She said, "If I'm not here on Monday, it wasn't because I wanted to disappear." I laughed at the time. Legit laughed. Thought she was being dramatic. Now I'd give anything to go back and ask what the hell she meant. Monday came. She wasn't there. People joked. Oh, guess she's done with school. Tuesday came. No Emma. Wednesday the front office called her name during attendance. Twice. No response. Thursday her mom showed up. Crying. Security walked her out. Friday we had an announcement. If anyone has information about Emma Sinclair's whereabouts, please speak with the principal or Officer Ramirez. That was the moment the whole school went cold. People started whispering theories. Drugs. Suicide. Secret boyfriend. But I knew Emma. Not well, but well enough. She wasn't the type to just leave. She was scared. She knew something. And then she was gone. I didn't tell anyone about the group chat. The one from our freshman year biology project. The one we hadn't touched in months. Because Sunday night, 2 days after she vanished, I got a message in that chat. From her account. He found out. That was it. Just those 3 words. Then silence. The message she sent, he found out. It sat there in the chat like a live wire. No one else replied. No one even read it. I checked the member list. It was still just me, her, and a few people who probably didn't even remember that chat existed. I wanted to reply. I typed. Emma, what do you mean? Who? But I never hit send. I stared at the message until my phone dimmed. Something about it, it felt final. Like whatever she was scared of was already in motion. And if she was reaching out to me of all people, someone she barely knew, then that meant she had no one left. The next morning I couldn't focus on anything. My teachers sounded like background noise. The fluorescent lights were making my head pound. And every time someone walked past our classroom door, I flinched a little. At lunch, I pulled up the message again. Still unread by anyone but me. I tapped her profile. Instagram, inactive. Snapchat, streaks dead. Her last TikTok? Deleted. It was like she'd been scrubbed. And then I remembered what she said to me. That one weird, offhand thing, just 2 days before she vanished. It was after 6th period. We were both grabbing our stuff from our lockers. Hers was next to mine. She looked tired. Not like I stayed up too late, tired, more like I haven't slept in days and I'm trying not to cry in public, tired. I said something stupid like, "Hey, you good?" And she just looked at me for a second and said, "If I'm not here on Monday, it wasn't because I wanted to disappear." Then she shut her locker and walked away. I didn't think about it at the time. Now it was echoing in my brain like a siren. That night I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m. I checked the chat again. And there it was. Another message. Same account. Same time of night. Just this. Locker 311. Don't tell Riley. I got chills reading it. Riley was Emma's ex-best friend. They'd been tight since middle school, then just fell off. No one knew why. Riley never talked about it, and anytime someone brought up Emma in front of her, she shut it down quick. Locker 311 was in the East Wing, near the old chem lab. That hallway was always half dead, and a bunch of the lockers over there hadn't been used in years. But now I was sure. Emma left something there. And I was gonna find it. Monday morning I got to school early. Like way early. The building wasn't even officially open yet, but I had my backpack and a half-ass excuse about making up a quiz ready in case someone questioned me. I knew where locker 311 was. It was on the second floor of the East Wing, way past the art rooms, near the old chem lab that got shut down after a gas leak 3 years ago. Most of the lockers over there hadn't been assigned in forever. They were rusted, dented, untouched. Like no one wanted to be near that part of school. 311 looked like the rest, beat up, dusty, the little nameplate thing blank. But the combo lock on it? Brand new. Shiny. No scratches. Like someone had just put it on. I stood there staring at it, heart pounding like I was about to defuse a bomb. I didn't have the combo, obviously. But I had bolt cutters. Okay, Jake had bolt cutters. He keeps them in his truck, just in case, which honestly makes me worry about him sometimes. Anyway, I snuck them out of his truck this morning. He doesn't know yet. I checked the hallway. Empty. Dead silent. One deep breath. One snap. The lock hit the floor with a metallic clang that sounded way too loud in the silence. I opened the locker. It was empty. At first. But then I looked closer at the back wall. There was something taped there. A small plastic Ziploc bag. Inside it, a USB flash drive and a note. The note said, "If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it. Please be careful. Trust no one. Not even the teachers. Especially not the teachers." I didn't even read it twice. I shoved the drive in my hoodie pocket, slammed the locker shut, and got the hell out of there. I spent the rest of the day feeling like someone was watching me. Like eyes were following me down every hallway. I skipped lunch. Couldn't eat. Just kept hearing her voice in my head. If I'm not here on Monday. The second I got home, I plugged the drive into my old, half-dead laptop. The only file on it was a password-protected PDF called Fall Semester Schedule. I tried the obvious, Emma, password, school, even 311. Nothing worked. And then I remembered her cat. She posted about him all the time. His name was Nimbus. I typed it in. The file opened. It wasn't a schedule. It was a list. Names. Dates. Times. Weird codes like B3-13, A1-04. Some names were crossed out. Emma's wasn't. Mine was. And next to it was a time. Friday, 12:45 p.m., marked Saturday, 2:03 a.m., cleared. I stared at it for what felt like forever. I don't know what cleared means. But I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be alive. The list kept spinning in my head all night. I recognized maybe a third of the names. Mostly seniors. A few juniors. Some already graduated. There were at least 5 teachers on there too, including Mr. Bennett, our principal. His name wasn't crossed out. Emma's wasn't either. But mine was. Marked. Cleared. What the hell did that mean? What got cleared? Me? Like Mimi? And what did Emma do to end up not cleared? Next morning I didn't go to class. I wandered the halls like a ghost. Avoided the main stairwell, slipped past the office, stayed in the blind spots I knew from 4 years of avoiding trouble. I was heading back to the East Wing again because I couldn't shake this feeling. Like there was something else I was missing. The hallway was quiet as hell. Half the ceiling lights were out, the floor still sticky from whatever cleaning spray they used overnight. Then I passed the girls' restroom. The one across from the shut-down chem lab. And I stopped. Because the door was cracked open. And the smell hit me immediately. Bleach. Not the usual janitor clean. This was the kind of smell that's trying to cover something up. I glanced around. No one in sight. I stepped inside. It looked clean. Too clean. All the mirrors had been wiped down. Trash cans were empty. Floors mopped. But when I looked closer at the far stall, I saw a dot. Red. Not blood red anymore. Watered down. But still there. Smears on the tile like something or someone had been dragged. And up the side of the stall wall I saw a faint handprint. I stood there frozen, just staring at it. And then I heard footsteps. I ducked into the stall and held my breath. 2 sets of feet. Heavy. Adult. Probably male. They walked past the bathroom door, then stopped. One of them said, "They should have cleaned this place better." And the other replied, Doesn't matter. No one looks in here. Then the footsteps kept going. I waited 5 full minutes before moving. Slipped out, didn't even breathe until I hit the stairs. Skipped the rest of the day. Walked straight out of school, got on the first bus home, didn't look back once. That night, I messaged Jake. I told him about the flash drive. The list. The blood. He replied with a skull emoji and, "Bro, you're about to get murdered. LNK when the Netflix doc drops." Typical Jake response. But then he texted again 10 minutes later. "Wait. My name was on the list too." Jake met me after school in the back parking lot, the one near the faculty lot where kids aren't even supposed to be. He looked shaken. I'd never seen him look like that before. And this dude once broke his arm skateboarding down the science wing stairs and still made it to third period like it was nothing. He pulled out his phone and showed me the name list again, the one I'd sent him a screenshot of. His name, Jake Marshall, B2-05, 1:12 a.m., pending. Not cleared. Not marked. Pending. What the hell does that even mean? He asked. I don't know, I said. But I think they were keeping track of us. Of everyone. Jake was still trying to brush it off, cracking jokes like, "Maybe it's just a super elaborate attendance sheet." But I saw the look in his eyes. He believed me now. We decided to go back to locker 311. We knew it had been cleaned out by me, but Jake had a theory. If someone was using it to stash stuff, there might be something else. Double compartments, false backs. You ever watch spy movies? We waited until after school hours again, when everyone was at sports or drama or already headed home. The East Wing was even more dead than usual. Jake brought his mini flashlight, the one he keeps in his glove box for zombie emergencies because again, he's Jake. The locker was still hanging open from when I broke the lock. It looked empty. But Jake started tapping on the back wall. "Hollow," he whispered. He ran his fingers along the back edge until he found something, a tiny rusted screw. He started twisting it loose with a key. After a minute, the back panel gave way. Just a crack, enough for us to pull it back. Inside? Another Ziploc bag. But this one was bigger. There was a notebook inside. Spiral-bound, half full, pages bent and smudged. We pulled it out. On the front cover, scribbled in permanent marker. 1245 means nothing. Look deeper. E. We flipped it open. First few pages were like a diary. Emma had written down weird things she noticed. "Mr. Bennett always leaves the west stairwell at 11:32. Every day. Riley says she forgot the night of the dance. I know she remembers what happened in the locker room. Found the camera. It's in the light fixture above the teacher's lounge. Not a school install." It just kept going. Pages of timestamps, names, hallway maps, locker numbers. She was tracking everyone. And the more we read, the more we realized. She wasn't crazy. She was onto something real. Something dangerous. Because halfway through the notebook was a page ripped out, violently. Just the spiral thread still hanging. And right after that was written, "Do not trust Ramirez. Even if he seems like he's on your side. Especially then. Ramirez. The school resource officer. The guy who helped me with my sophomore parking pass. The one who tells kids to stay safe walking home. That Ramirez?" Jake and I just stared at each other. "You think she's dead?" he asked. I didn't answer. Because I didn't know what scared me more. Thinking Emma was gone. Or thinking she wasn't. I brought the notebook home. Jake told me to make copies. Scan it. Screenshot everything. I did. Every single page. Then I put the original in a shoebox under my bed. Because for some reason that felt safer than leaving it in my backpack. That night, I sat in bed with my crappy old laptop and started building a timeline. Emma's notes weren't random. They were detailed. Obsessively so. And they painted a picture that made my stomach twist the more I connected the dots. There were patterns. Always the same times. Always the same places. Every Thursday. North stairwell. 2 seniors. Coach W. Someone crying in the locker room. Staff bathroom light on at 2:17 a.m. Like, why the hell is a staff bathroom light on in the middle of the night? Who's even in the building then? The next morning I walked into school and instantly felt off. It was subtle, but people were looking at me differently. Like I'd said something or done something, and no one had the guts to bring it up. Even Miss Phelps, our overly chipper math teacher. Gave me this weird half-smile like she didn't know if she should say hi or call security. I tried to ignore it. But third period, when I got to the library to print out some of Emma's scans, I noticed something that nearly made me drop my phone. The security camera. It was back, mounted on the ceiling right above the table I'd been using the other day. Except, there was no camera there yesterday. I know there wasn't. This one was new. Installed overnight. Wires still fresh. No dust. A tiny red light blinking at me. I asked the librarian, Mrs. Calloway, about it. She looked up from her desk and squinted. What camera? The one above table 6. She looked. Shrugged. There's no camera above table 6, Tyler. Yes, there is. Are you feeling okay? I left. Walked straight out of the library. Almost didn't hear the announcement over the intercom. Tyler James, please report to the principal's office. My blood ran cold. I hadn't done anything. Not today. But still I walked. Slowly. Every step echoing in my ears. I got there and Officer Ramirez was already waiting inside. Smiling. That same calm, nice guy smile he always wore. The one that made him seem like someone's uncle at a barbecue. Hey Tyler, he said like we were old pals. We just wanted to check in. Some of your teachers mentioned you've seemed distracted lately. Mr. Bennett folded his hands and nodded. Nothing serious. We just care about your well-being, son. Son. I wanted to puke. They asked about my classes, my sleep, my friends. They asked if I was feeling overwhelmed lately, if I was dealing with anything personal. They never said Emma's name, but every second I was in that room I was sure they knew, that they were waiting for me to slip up, say too much, mention the flash drive, the notebook, anything. So I smiled back, told them I was fine, said I was just tired from studying. Mr. Bennett nodded again. Ramirez chuckled. You're a smart kid. You know when to stay focused. I got up to leave and just before I walked out, Ramirez said, oh, one more thing. I turned. He smiled wider. Might want to be careful which lockers you hang around after hours. We've had break-ins. Wouldn't want you getting caught up in something unintended. He winked. I walked straight to Jake's after school. We knew. They were watching us now. And if they knew about locker 311, then we had a big problem. Riley wouldn't talk to anyone about Emma after she disappeared. Not the teachers. Not the counselor. Not even the girl group she used to sit with at lunch. They were inseparable once, Emma and Riley. Like, finish each other's sentences inseparable. Then out of nowhere they just stopped speaking. Everyone assumed it was some messy friend drama. Nobody asked questions. But I had questions now. And after the whole camera situation, after the meeting with Ramirez and Mr. Bennett, I couldn't afford to ignore anything that might matter. I cornered Riley after school by the bleachers behind the football field. She was sitting alone, earbuds in, staring at the track like she was watching ghosts. I sat down a few feet away. She didn't look at me. Just said, I heard you've been asking about her. I didn't lie. She sent me a message. 2 actually. Before she disappeared. That got her attention. She finally looked at me. Eyes red. Not from crying. From holding it in. I told her to stop, she said. Told her to leave it alone. She wouldn't listen. I asked her what Emma was trying to find. She took a breath. Shaky. Like it physically hurt to say it out loud. You know about that senior last year? Lily Tran? That name. Yeah. I remembered. She was a cheerleader. Graduated early. But there were rumors. About a teacher. About things being covered up. Most people forgot. Or wanted to forget. Emma didn't forget, Riley said. She started digging into it. Said Lily never left by choice. Said someone forced her out. I asked her who. Riley hesitated. Then whispered. Coach Wilson. And someone else. Someone higher up. I think. Mr. Bennett. My mouth went dry. You're serious? She had files. Notes. She said she had a plan. She was gonna go public. Email someone I don't know. News outlet? Police? She blinked hard. Looked away. Then like a week before she vanished, she told me she got followed. Said her phone glitched out in the hallway. That there was a mic in her locker. I thought back to the notebook. The ripped out page. The hidden camera Emma claimed was in the staff lounge light fixture. Riley looked at me like she was already regretting every word. I told her to shut it down. I told her to burn it all. I was scared. Still am. You think you're being watched? You are. I asked her why she was telling me now. She laughed. Bitter. Because they already know you know. Because it's too late. I asked her what that meant. Riley stood up, pulled her hood over her head, and walked away. Before she left, she turned to me and said, "You ever wonder why the cameras never catch anything?" I nodded. They do. They just never let anyone see it. That night, I didn't sleep. Again. Because that little flash drive Emma left me. Yeah. It had more on it. A folder I hadn't seen before. Hidden deep inside, labeled with a long string of gibberish. Inside, one video. Timestamp, 2:03 a.m. Chem lab. Night of Emma's disappearance. I haven't opened it yet. But I will. Tomorrow. It took me 3 hours to open the video file. Not because it was encrypted. Not because of any tech issue. Just because I was terrified to see what was on it. Jake sat next to me in silence, chewing a plastic straw like it was his emotional support snack. I think he was scared too, but neither of us wanted to admit it. I clicked play. The screen stayed black for a few seconds. Then, a flicker. Low res. No audio. Chem lab, East Wing. The camera angle was from up high, probably near the ceiling vent. The room looked the same as always, metal counters, abandoned equipment, faded periodic tables peeling off the walls. And then, movement. A figure entered from the left. Emma. She looked anxious. Kept glancing behind her. She had a small folder tucked under one arm and what looked like a phone in her other hand. She moved to the center of the room. Stopped. Waited. The door opened again. Another person stepped inside. And my stomach turned. It was Mr. Bennett. Our principal. The guy who handed out scholarships and gave speeches about protecting the youth and building trust. He walked toward her like this wasn't their first meeting. Like this was routine. Emma handed him the folder. He opened it. Flipped through a few pages. Said something no audio remember, but you could see her expression shift. She looked pissed. Scared. Her hands started shaking. She stepped back. He stepped forward. Then another figure appeared in the doorway. Officer Ramirez. Yep. Both of them were there. Ramirez moved fast. Too fast. He grabbed her arm. She tried to pull away, shoved something into her hoodie pocket. They wrestled. For like 2 seconds. Then Ramirez yanked something from his belt. Not a gun. A syringe. I paused the video. Jake was pale. Dude, did they? He asked. I didn't answer. I hit play again. Emma went limp. They didn't even flinch. Bennett picked up her phone. Ramirez slung her over his shoulder like a sack of laundry. They left the room. 2 minutes later, another person walked in. Tall. Hoodie. Face hidden. They picked up the dropped folder. Looked around. Walked out the back exit, the one no student is supposed to use. The video ended. No sound. No timestamp overlay. Just silence. Jake exhaled the longest breath I've ever heard in my life. They drugged her, man. I nodded. They took her. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't move. Just sat there, laptop still glowing, Emma's frozen face stuck on my screen. I kept asking myself, why would she meet with them in the first place? Did she trust them? Was she trapped? And then a new thought hit me, something darker. What if she never left that building? What if she's still here? Somewhere. Friday. Last period. I wasn't in class. I was in the East Wing again, hiding in the shadows of the trophy case near the stairwell, watching the staff room door. I had a plan. Kinda. Not a good one. Just, oh what the hell else do I do? Type of plan. Because after seeing that video, I had to know. I had to know if Emma was still here. If she was alive. If I could do something. Anything. Here's what I knew from her notes. The staff lounge had a vent above the door, possibly where the hidden camera had been. The door had a keypad, but Coach Wilson always left it open on Fridays between 2 o'clock and 2:30. Ramirez usually left for rounds around 2:15, and the hall cameras were mysteriously offline during that window. Always. It was 2:19 p.m. And the lounge door was open. My heart was beating in my ears. I walked like I belonged, like I was supposed to be there, like I wasn't seconds away from getting dragged into a van or worse. I slipped inside. It smelled like coffee and lies. There were 3 chairs. A dusty mini fridge. A whiteboard with a half-erased, faculty meeting, Wednesday 7 p.m. And on the far wall, a panel. Metal. Locked. With a fingerprint scanner. I froze. That wasn't a fuse box. That wasn't HVAC. That was something else. I stepped closer, heard a click from the hallway. Voices. I dove behind the couch, barely breathing. 2 pairs of footsteps. Heavy. Adult. And close. The door creaked open. I heard Ramirez. He's poking around again. The Sinclair kid? That was Mr. Bennett. No. The other one. James. Tyler James. I felt like my lungs had been replaced with ice. Should we move him? Ramirez asked. Not yet, Bennett said. Let's see who he talks to next. Give him rope. He'll hang himself. They left. I stayed frozen behind the couch for 10 full minutes. When I finally crawled out, the panel was still locked. I didn't touch it. I bolted. I ran down the hall, phone shaking in my hand, about to call Jake, when the fire alarm went off. But there was no alarm sound. No flashing lights. Just a buzz. Low, glitchy, and wrong. Then a voice over the intercom. Attention students. Please remain in your classrooms. This is a safety procedure. Do not attempt to exit the building. That's when I realized something. The bell hadn't rung. Not for end of class. Not for anything. I looked around the hallway. Empty. Classroom doors closed. No one moving. No one questioning. It was like the school was holding its breath. And I wasn't supposed to be out here. I sprinted to the east exit. Locked. West stairwell. Blocked. Front lobby security gate down. I was trapped. And then, my phone buzzed. Blocked number. No contact photo. No preview. Just one message. You should have stayed in class. And another. She's still here. But not for long. That's when I knew. They were done watching. And I was next. I don't know how I got out. Not exactly. There are pieces missing, like static in my head. But I remember the important parts. The real parts. The ones I can't unsee no matter how hard I try. After I got that message, she's still here. But not for long. I didn't think. I ran. Every hallway felt like a trap. Every camera like a loaded gun pointed right at me. I didn't go to the front office or the counselor's room. I went to custodian Gary. He was the only adult who ever looked at me like he knew. Knew something was off. Knew what this place really was. I found him smoking behind the cafeteria loading dock, like always. I didn't even say anything. Just handed him my phone, the USB, and whispered. They're going to make me disappear. He didn't blink. Just nodded, crushed his cigarette, and said, Follow me. Gary led me through the back corridors, one students aren't supposed to know exist. Behind the gym. Through the laundry room. Past a door with a sign that just said, Authorized personnel only. Then down. Concrete stairs. No lights. My breath was fogging from how cold it got. This is where they bring the broken kids, he muttered. The ones that talk too loud. At the bottom of the stairs was a steel door. He punched in a code I didn't look at. The door hissed open. Inside was a storage room, but not really. Metal gurney. Filing cabinets. Camera feeds. Dozens of them. Every hallway. Every classroom. Every locker. Live. Not broken. Not down for maintenance. Live. And in the center of the monitors. Emma. Sitting on a mattress. Still in her hoodie. Still in the same jeans from that Friday. She was alive. I sunk in. Lips cracked. But alive. I stepped forward. Where's she? I asked. Gary shook his head. They moved her last night. Somewhere off-site. She was too loud. Too smart. How do you know? Because she tried to warn me too, he said. But I was a coward. Then he handed me back my phone and shoved a piece of paper into my hoodie. Go. Get out of this town. Don't try to be a hero. Don't die for a system that eats kids and smiles for the yearbook. He pushed a button. One of the feeds flickered. The fire alarm lights really went off this time. That's how I escaped. While the building swarmed with emergency response and faculty yelling codes into radios, I walked straight out the back gate. Nobody looked at me. No one even tried to stop me. That was 6 months ago. Now I'm in another state, living with my aunt under a different last name. The files are with the reporter I trust, one who's already been threatened twice since I sent them. Emma's still missing. The school says she dropped out. The official story is that she ran away after a mental episode, that her parents are respecting her privacy. But I saw her. And I'll find her. Because they may have erased her from the system. But they forgot something. She left breadcrumbs. And now I've picked them up.